Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show, and I want to say season's greetings to everyone. We have a great man on the phone who's done so much for the community, and he's just making great waves in the financial planning industry. Please welcome certified financial planner with a specialty in corporate and estate planning solutions with Hub Financial, Jorge Simoes, to the show.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome. How's everything going with the holidays? Do you have any special plans?
Well, holidays are always about family, right? So I think no matter where you are, it's just about being in good company with family and friends, and reminiscing about the year, and looking at and also about those special memories. This was the year that my family lost a very special person to us, which was my grandmother. So it'll definitely be a reflection of that. But you always try to keep good memories.
For sure, I'm sure she'll be sorely missed. But I wanted to, talk about some of the things that you have that you're very heavily involved in financial planning. And I think it's important for people to know that there are different types of financial planning, and your specialty is corporate and estate planning. Can you talk about what that is?
Well, when it comes to corporate and estate planning, right, there's two sides. The corporate is almost self-explanatory. It's the corporate. And it's basically trying to show corporations how to max out and get the most value out of their business, that transfer of wealth out of that business to the shareholder in the most tax-efficient way. Because to a lot of business owners, their company is really their retirement. That's really their retirement plan. So how to make that successful transfer of wealth, because money can't just come out in tax-free out of a corporation, right? There's certain rules that the government puts in place. But at the same time, I'm sort of the key holder to introduce options to the client that the government really doesn't want you to know. So that succession and that transfer of wealth from corporation to shareholder, that's the specialty that I talk about when it comes to corporate and estate planning, or I say corporate planning. The estate side is more dealing with on the individual side, whether it's to maximize the tax liability or minimize the tax liability that a very asset-rich or wealthy client might have, and find ways to transfer that wealth in the most tax-efficient way to their beneficiaries, whether that's spouse, children, grandchildren, niece, nephew. Because, of course, there's always, even when you die, there's still taxes to be paid.
Really?
So it's providing...
Even when you die?
Of course, there's always taxes to be paid. Especially, there's certain assets that can roll over tax-free to surviving spouses, but to kids that won't be. That's not the circumstance. One asset that everybody has that can always roll over tax-free is your principal residence. But if you're looking at any sort of investment portfolios, whether it's registered, non-registered, additional vacation properties, that's always going to trigger capital gains or of income of some sort on your terminal return. So I talk to clients about, number one, finding ways to address that tax liability on their death, or at least start saving for it.
Okay. What other things are, what should people know when they're thinking about, building wealth? Say I'll give you a scenario with someone who maybe just, graduated university, they just landed their job, and now they're thinking ahead, and they want to, put money aside for retirement. What are some of the things that they should know, and especially in the tone of building wealth? Well,
the sooner you start, the better it is, right? You'd be surprised what's even starting someone that starts saving between the ages of 25 to 30 versus someone that starts saving between the ages of 30 to 35. The sooner you start saving, the more you can accumulate, because when you are saving too, you're looking at compounding interest on those savings. And the sooner you start saving too, and you also want to spread out those savings. You want to make sure you're doing monthly contributions, so you are what we call dollar cost averaging. You're not just putting money in when the market might be high. Now, you always say buy low, sell high, not buy high, sell low. So those are some of the things I always talk about. Put a plan in place. Sit down with an advisor. Let's paint a picture. It's never too soon to start looking at retirement planning, because the sooner you are, And the sooner you start, and, of course, naturally, when you come out of university, the expectation to make large contributions is not there because the income might not be there yet. But even a smaller amount, starting at a young age, can accumulate to a very, very large capital when it comes down to retirement. Then you also want to look at, what I want to save for. Do I want to look at, registered, like RSPs? Do I want to look at non-registered? Do I want to look at tax-free savings accounts?
Right.
There's different vehicles available. And you also got to look at what income tax bracket you're going to be in. You want to contribute to RSPs. Is that going to really help you getting tax credits back for those contributions because of deductions? So it's really looking at the full picture. Start young. Dollar cost average, make monthly contributions, don't make just lump sum contributions here and there, and look at spreading that investment, a little bit into every little pot, because diversification is a key thing.
Diversification, okay. And what does that mean in layman's terms?
Diversification in terms of, where are you spreading those investments in, whether they want to be registered, non-registered, and registered basically refers to the fact of, are you going to pay taxes during the growth of that plan, or do you want to just be paying taxes on an annual basis? So, and that comes to also you got to plan around the fact of when are you going to have higher income earning years. So you plan around that. Diversification in the investment world also talks about you never put all your eggs in one basket, right? You're not going to go all into blue chips or equities, high risk, right? You want a little bit of conservative, and in a perfect scenario, a portfolio would have the appropriate asset class. We have a little bit of cash, a little bit of real estate, a little bit of private equity, a little bit of public equity, and a little bit of fixed income on both sides. You want to have a spread of your wealth. So, because you want to, some of these types of investments you're investing in, when you're putting a diversification, you're almost putting a bulletproof plan that when one is down, the other will be up, right? If they're not both up at the same time, right? That's what you diversify. Okay,
fantastic. Is it too late to plan your retirement? If you reach maybe your late 50s and you haven't actually put a nest egg away, is it too late?
It's never too late because don't forget, we are all eligible, and we're all eligible for Canada Pension Plan, right? We're all eligible for old age security. So it's never too late. And I'll be honest with you, most Canadians are not ready for retirement if they're ready to retire in the next 5 to 10 years. But it's not to say that you have no choice. You're going to either take a reduction in income, or you're just going to prepare yourself for a different lifestyle. It's never too late to look at where you're going to be, so you can always prepare yourself. And whether it's preparing yourself to take a different lifestyle, or prepare yourself to maybe work a couple of years more. So there's never such a thing as being too late for retirement. It's people tend to avoid the big picture, and the last thing you want to do is have a shock. Don't be scared of what you're about to see, because people know that they might not be ready for retirement and have saved enough, but at least know what you're going to face. Not when it comes down to it. Preparation is a big thing. In life we prepare for everything. Right?
Yeah, don't stick your head in the sand like an ostrich, just like be ready for the truth.
Don't ignore it, exactly. Don't ignore it. Just be aware and be prepared.
Okay. What are some of the projects that you're involved in outside of financial planning?
Well, I'm part of a charity and looking to join another one. I've spoken on your show about the Home Hospice Association. Hospice is basically, for those who aren't familiar with, it's a place where you're there to die. It's not a hospital. It's people, and hospice doesn't have to be for someone in older ages. It could be a child. It could be a middle-aged person, right? But a hospice is a hospital for people who are pretty much ready to die. The nice hospices really, they're almost like hotels. The issue in Ontario is for every 100,000 people that are need some hospice type of service, there's less than 2 beds available. So what we're looking to do is bring these types of services for someone not having to need to die with dignity. Number one, dying with dignity. Number two, dying in the comfort of their own home, not having to die in some corridor of a hospital or in some semi-private hospital where people are screaming or yelling and there's certain smells. So, but most people would feel most comfortable in their home.
Okay.
This charity, what we try to do is just bring the services and the funding to perhaps monitor your home, so you have the comfort level to die in your home.
Okay. Now, what propelled you to work with such a community? Was it the passing of your grandmother?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know what, we were lucky enough that we had services, government services available to us, and the people we encounter were very good to us. So we did not have a negative experience with these government services. But we're maybe one of very, very few that went through this. Most people face a very, very difficult situation, a very, very uncomfortable situation, and don't have very much good to say about these government services. So because there's really nothing that could have been done, I just wouldn't want anybody to go through what my grandma would have gone through and not have the help the support, and the people around them that they need. So I still have a mother and a father, and we're all going to go there. We're all going that way. It just matters if you have a plan. We talk about plan for retirement. We got a plan for long-term care. We got a plan for death, and you got a plan for the fact of one day you're not going to be able to just simply get out of bed and have brush your teeth, eat, dress yourself, right, clean yourself.
Right.
All right, you got to prepare, and if you have no one that's prepared for you, who are you going to rely on?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's what this charity
I think
is all about.
That's fantastic. And how do people get in touch with the charity if they want to volunteer or donate?
This charity, you can Google HHA or no spacing, Home Hospice Association, Hospice HOSPICE, all together, no breaks in between, no spacing. That's how you'll find us, HHA, Home Hospice Association, and you'll find the webpage of that. And they don't just provide these types of services, try to provide the donations and the capital required to deliver these services to every different type of communities. But even they do some very small little things, such as a lot of people die. A lot of older people, they have pets, and they die and their pets are left alone. Right? This is on the smaller end, but everyone also likes their pets to be taken care of. One of the services that they provide, for example, is even taking care of your pets or watching over your pets. Providing goods and services to the pets, and even comfort levels for grieving people who have lost their loved ones because of this. But what you want to do is Home Hospice Association all together, and you'll find the website and everything you need to know about the services and the projects that are being worked on.
Okay. All right. Phenomenal. As you know, the tagline of the show is transforming lives one story at a time. George, can you tell us how you've been able to transform others through your financial planning?
Absolutely. The typical answer that I guess maybe might most be common or you would expect from me is, having a transformation or helping a client out. And there's many of those stories. But I'll probably focus on the other end. My job is not just there to help clients get them to either save on taxes or plan for retirement or address any type of risk. I also work with other advisors like myself. Something that maybe doesn't have the expertise that I might have, and I look at in growing, developing them. I started a relationship with an advisor about 2 years ago. We met and started planting some seeds on some of the opportunities and some of the services and the good things that we can provide in this industry to help clients out. This advisor went from just becoming an investment advisor really on the security side to really becoming almost full financial planning to address areas of risk. He's now become probably the top insurance advisor at his firm. And just alone on his production and the services and the goodwill that he provided to his clients due to my help, the firm itself has changed their model to benefit and generate other sales from other advisors, and so he's sort of become the go-to person and let's say the model for this firm overall. So that's how and this isn't. I'll take credit for this side of the service, because if it wasn't for us meeting, for us being introduced to each other, meeting with him, educating him, and basically not be greedy, because if you have knowledge, you have to spread knowledge, and it's not like I want everybody to be successful, and even including my competition, because if we're all successful, then the industry gets a good name and everybody's happy. So that's a good story that I would share, not for helping clients, but helping another individual like myself. And realistically, now we become partners. So anything that he does on his business also helps me.
Okay, beautiful. And is that is that part of the transformation for yourself for this year? Is that one element of it? The question I was going to ask is how you've been transformed.
To tell you the truth, I've probably been transformed more on a personal side. I'm not even going to get into, all these things bring modesty and bring growth to me and bring recognition within my company, and, brings, word of mouth of, what George can do, not just for clients, but, to help grow your own business. But I'll say that, my transformation might have been on a personal side through different relationships and people I've met throughout the year, and becoming, doing the right things, making good choices, health-wise, right? Not just career-wise, right? Because, sometimes we all get caught up in career. But I'll say, my biggest growth, my biggest change is some of the people I've gotten to meet this year, and some of the friends have stood by me overall. And like I said, some of the new relationships that were formed. You always learn from each other, and I think the biggest growth might have been from a handful of individuals that I got to meet this year, not through business, but through my existing relationships. And these people were influential and basically motivational to me. And one thing that's really portrayed this year is vibrating good energy. I'm very much about good energy. Right, so that's probably the biggest transformation is look at everything with a positive side and repel good energy, because when you repel good energy, everybody wants to be around you, and everything works out in the end.
Beautiful. I love that. Now, George, thank you so much for taking the time to share all the wonderful things that you're doing. Now, please, how can people contact you via social media?
Well, on social media, you can find me on Facebook under George_M Simoes. That's really my personal side. I'm not really. I tend, a lot of people tend to promote social media, their business through social media. I keep it separate. I want people to know that at the end of the day, I am an individual. And, I am a human being. I like to have fun. I like to be out. You can find me on Instagram again at George_M_Simoes. And you can obviously reach me through my company website at www.hubfinancial.com, or even through my cell phone at 416-569-1409. And because I think you have to also have a distinction between being a professional and knowing that you're still part of the people. You like to have fun and you're out there. So that's how people can reach out to me, and I can see that I am a human being. Right, as much as a professional try to be, at the end of the day, we all are human beings. We all, once again, like to have some fun and like to be out there in the communities, helping others.
Absolutely. Well, maybe I foresee a career for you in politics. I have that vision right there that I definitely see you as a community builder.
Absolutely. And I love one biggest passion, probably the biggest reward in terms of this job, as much as you can talk about it. Then the main thing for me is helping people. And it comes down from the morals installed for me from my mom and my grandma, and just family upbringing. Right, you help people, good things will come to you as well.
Absolutely. I totally believe that. George, thank you so much. Happy holidays. All the best to you for 2016. And I want to just thank you again for spending some time with us on the Nikki Clarke Show. So I will definitely be following you, and hopefully we can have you back on the show to share all the great things that you're doing. Thanks again, George.
Thanks for your time as well. Happy holidays to you.
Okay. Happy holidays. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.